This is the adults in the room, and today we have an amazing 8 to 10 show for you.
We definitely do.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Arnold, are you excited?
I'm really excited. I've been waiting for this day.
I know, right? I told my family, I'm like, you have no idea
Yes.
who's coming on our show.
Yes.
And everybody is tuned in. Everyone is ready. Grab your tea. Grab your drink.
Yes.
Tell a friend to tell a friend, because we have a CEO in the house.
Yes.
And it's just not any ordinary CEO. His name is Waithaka Gatumia.
Yes.
I was wondering, I was waiting for this guy to enter the room. Jeff Bezos has arrived.
You're like, you mustn't be talking about me.
Elon Musk, I don't know. Where is this guy? Because someone came somewhere. Where is he?
Right.
Anyway.
Welcome, sir.
Karibu
kidding.
sana.
It's a blessing to have you here.
Pleasure.
Yes.
It's
Can
an
we come a
honor.
little bit closer so
Yes.
we
Sure,
can
no
hear you?
No problem.
But it's a pleasure to have you here. Like I said, I've been
Yes.
waiting a long time for you to come in. We had the privilege of one of your colleagues come in and have a chat to us, which was very informative.
Yes.
So to have you here, the big dog.
Yes,
We're very
the
excited.
boss of the boss of the boss.
Yes.
Arnold, I'm very humbled.
Yes.
Honestly, it's an honor to have you on the show. We've been waiting for you. We've been dreaming of your presence. And now you're here. It's a reality.
Yes,
The adults in the room.
Now, of course, there's going to be many people who don't know you, who you are. So before we actually get into today's conversation, which is going to be really, really interesting, and for those of you who are just joining us for this hot topic, we're actually going to be discussing how to thrive in retirement, which is a
Yes.
very important conversation, whether you're young or old,
Yes.
which is why we want to bring it to the forefront. So
Yes.
kindly introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, what you do. We want to know it all.
Yeah.
Sure, thank you so much. First of all, yes, I am also humbled, and I really take it as a privilege to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you.
And
Thank you for accepting.
I've enjoyed the conversation so far. I'm glad that I didn't have to say I'm sorry for coming late today. I left home before 5
Oh,
to
wow.
be here at this
Really?
time. I mean, the traffic on the highway, because I'm on the other side of town.
Right.
Completely.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to be here. As you said, my name is Waithaka Gatumia, and
Yes.
I serve as CEO at Centonomy. At Centonomy, we have a mission, and our mission is to shift mindsets so that purposeful people can create wealth and live abundantly.
Yes.
And I've been doing this for some time now. So we train in the area of personal financial management, entrepreneurship, career development, anything that has to do with wealth. We're involved in terms of educating so that we can grow. So when you call me for for a discussion about thriving in retirement, I will be there. I will be inside because I think it's probably one of the areas that we haven't discussed well enough. And there are very many misconceptions that unfortunately, when you retire, can be really shocking.
Yes.
Not that they're irreversible, but that the expectation that you had may be, how would I put it? You can find a lot of disappointment.
Yeah.
Right.
So rather than get to that point and then find the disappointment, why not learn about it earlier? And for those who have gotten there, it's to understand what is it that will help me thrive in this space.
Right.
It
right.
doesn't mean that it has ended. Hey, life has not ended.
Yeah.
In fact, for most people,
Yes.
Yeah.
there's still a huge lifetime left of after
Yes.
retirement.
Yes.
So you can build from that position.
Yes.
So this discussion is not that we've said if you've retired, forget about it, leave
Yes.
the conversation. No, in fact, call mom, call dad, tell
Yeah,
them,
yeah.
listen, because the principles hopefully will be able to help.
I like that, and I like how you've begun in terms of call mom, call dad,
Yes.
call everybody,
Get them on the line,
get them
on the
line.
radio.
I really like that. So I want to ask, what is the most difficult challenge people encounter when they're retiring? First and foremost.
There are two. You've put me in a corner to say the most. I don't know. I'll say two. Can I say those two?
Yes. Yes.
So number one, cash,
Okay.
and number two, purpose.
Okay.
And both are really important. You see, here's the thing. I'll start with the bottom line, and then we can break it down as we go forward.
Yes.
The greatest issue you must deal with in retirement is cash flow.
Cash flow.
If you can deal with that, financially, you'll be set.
Okay.
The problem is that many people get to retirement and they are asset rich, but cash poor.
Right. So they've got a lot of assets, whether it's land or stocks, but they're like
They have no money.
They're no liquid.
They
They're not
have
liquid.
no cash,
Right.
which is why, if you all guys who are listening to us, you've been wondering, why are we? I don't know. Let me ask the question to those who are listening. Why are you sending money home to your parents? But they have their own house.
Right.
They have land. They even grow their own food, have animals there. But why do they need cash? Because cash is what keeps you moving in this world. Unfortunately, that's what it is.
Right.
In the past, maybe the land and the house could have taken care of you, but right now, what keeps you moving in the world is cash. Because there's still, amongst them, there'll still be a wedding coming up. There'll
Yes.
still be a funeral.
Yes.
There'll be a birthday.
Yes.
There'll be some celebration. There'll be
Yes.
Christmas. There'll be
Yeah.
whatever it is. Sikuku will come up at some point.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you need cash.
Yeah.
That's true.
Doesn't matter how many plots you have.
Yeah.
Now here is the problem. So you've been buying plots all your life. Now you're retired.
Right.
You don't have the cash flow. Your retirement, which is your pension fund, is catering for maybe, if you're lucky, 30% of your needs.
Yeah.
Yes.
So where are you getting the cash from? So you ask your children, God willing, they send you something. And I'm not saying don't send your parents cash. Please
Yeah.
do and support, because probably they weren't prepared. But what I'm trying to make sure is that you will be prepared when you get there.
Yeah.
So you're asking your children for money. Next thing is, if they don't have, you look at your assets and now start selling them off.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the thing is, once you've sold it, it's gone. You use the cash and it's gone. I mean, I've had this discussion so often in the
I can
office.
imagine.
Yeah.
This lady, a good friend of mine, came and I mean, she was just really disturbed.
Yeah.
Because she was like, I'm looking at my dad. He was in a situation where he's now moved on into a new relationship, and now you're looking at obviously he now needs cash because it's a new family he's starting up, and you're just looking at all the plots that are just disappearing one by one by one, and what will take care of him after that period of time? Because it's not like he's too old that he can't keep going for another 10-20 years.
Right.
So what the problem you have to solve in your retirement is
Wow.
cash flow.
Right. I would have assumed that if you, let's say, had quite a few different plots of land, that these might be sources of income generation. But is it a case of people have land and it's not actually being utilized as a result, there's no actual cash coming from them?
Yeah, because you have to have a business on that land.
Right.
Whether that business is real estate, which many people think that's what you're going to do when you're I'm going to build.
Yeah.
But what you have to realize is, where's the money coming from to build?
Right.
Yeah.
I get you.
Which makes sense.
Yes.
And when we come back, I really want us to dig deeper
Yep.
into how best people can be able to prepare for these challenges. And you said purpose
Yeah.
and cash flow.
Yeah.
Because, we need to be ready.
Yeah.
As young as we are. I'm trying to imagine a scenario whereby you're sending money home, your parents are retired, and you will still need to retire.
Yes.
Your
At
days
some
for
point.
retirement are coming.
They're coming, yes.
So your
And your children are still in
and
university.
exactly.
Yes.
Like life is still happening. We still need to put money here. We still need to develop this there. And then there's still the folks that need to survive.
Yes.
We are discussing how to thrive in retirement. We have Waithaka Gatumia with us. Please send in all your questions. At 8:45, we'll be opening up the lines. So just wait kidogo too. We'll be right back after the small break. Joining the conversation, this is the adults in the room. Karibuni sana. We have Waithaka Gatumia, CEO of Centonomy Limited.
Yes.
Did you guys hear? CEO of Centonomy Limited. You guys, some of you, most of you, majority of you are familiar with Centonomy. Majority of you are familiar with Waithaka Gatumia. But just before we continue with now how to prepare yourself for retirement,
Yes.
I really want Waithaka to share with us how his journey of finance began, because during the break, he mentioned something and I was like, Allah.
How did this guy end up where he is now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. I think we train at Centonomy in the area of career development as well.
Yes.
And one thing that is becoming extremely clear is that in this life you will have multiple careers, not just multiple jobs, but multiple careers.
Yes.
Just simply because of the way the world is going.
Yeah.
And I think I've experienced it myself. So I studied in Melbourne, where you are,
Yes,
isn't it? So I
conversation
yeah.
about that. I was so happy when I heard
They
that.
started catching up,
Yes.
and I was feeling a bit left
I
out.
was feeling like, oh man, it's been a while since
been a
I've been
while.
back. So it's so I studied there, and I thought I'd get into film. That was what I want. Hollywood is where I wanted to go in my life. That's what I wanted to go. We couldn't afford it at that time, and I didn't get the scholarship that I wanted to do. So we looked around the world. My sister had moved over to Australia. She told us, hey, there are good universities here.
Yeah.
There's a pretty good film industry. Why don't you come and see what's going on? So I did. I went there, and I did. I got into media and communications. I completed, but the whole time that I was there, I'm going home.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
that was
you.
it. That was the plan. I barely stayed afterwards. I stayed for my graduation, and that was it. So I came home.
Wow.
And then I started looking for work in the media. And then, so the first job that I did many other things. So I tried. I was on stage. I did things, all the stuff that you like to do. I love music, and I sing at church.
Wow.
And so I got a job at a
Yes.
radio station
Yes.
as a sports reporter, an unpaid intern sports reporter.
As
He's
it
a guy
is.
with-
As it goes.
He's a guy with a university degree who's an unpaid sports
But
reporter.
that is the norm.
Yeah, but so I used to come in the morning, and the first 10 minutes I've done my job, because I'm just regurgitating the news from the day before anyway,
Yes.
what's going on.
Yeah.
But again, the grace of God in my life, he took me in that position, unpaid sports reporter. 3 years later, I was the head of the radio department at that station. Yeah,
That's amazing.
that's
Goodness
God's.
me.
3 years.
Yeah. And that's God's grace.
Wow.
And then went on
And
to
hard work. It was flukes.
No, you see, the thing is, when you talk about the grace of God, it follows you, but then you have to be under His covering for it to
I
follow you.
agree.
That's what you're talking about,
Yes.
and He's been faithful in my life. That's all I can say, because you see, even as we're talking about preparing for retirement, there's so much more to it than the money. So we'll talk about the money, we'll talk about the purpose and all those different things.
Yeah.
But life is not just money.
Yeah.
And in fact, that's why if you heard from our mission statement, we shifted it from just being about wealth, but also living abundantly.
Yes.
There has to be
Yes.
more to
Yes.
life.
Yes.
And you find that money is just a bit of it.
Yes.
You know, money is really helpful.
Yes.
It is.
It is.
Especially
So,
if you can
If
have
you
it,
can have
put
it
to
and
use.
it's there, you put it to use. But at some point, it's not the thing that will keep you happy. It's not the thing that will keep you focused. But yeah, long story. Went into business,
Yes.
didn't work out.
Uh-huh.
While I was doing that business is when I started working and doing some work for Centonomy.
Yes.
So I used to do a lot of the media work for them.
Yes.
So the business was media production and stuff.
Yes.
So that's when I got to know Asheke, who's the founder there. We had known each other a while before that, but that's when I got to know her, and I attended some of the things. So I was recording many of the events and things like that. So I was present. I was around the material.
Yes.
Of course.
So you can imagine if you're recording a thing, you listen to it, then you go home, you edit it, so you
Yes.
listen to it again, you do it. So I did this for a couple of years, and when they were looking for trainers, I put up my hand and I
course,
said,
yeah.
you know what, I can do this part-time. So it was a part-time gig. So one of the things you learn at Centonomy is, look, use all your skills, use all the assets that are available to you.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I had was time and an ability to speak. I hope I'm speaking well enough today.
Yes,
to
you
prove that.
are.
Definitely.
And so when they said I put my hand up, I went in as a part-time trainer.
Yes.
And that is now what? I'm now doing the calculation. This 7 years later, now I'm running the company. So yeah, that's about it.
I like how your
Growth.
I know. I like how your experience in media is essentially what helped you transition
Yeah.
into what you're doing now.
See, the thing is, it's communication, and
Yeah.
and
That's it.
yeah,
It's communication.
that's it. And so
Yeah.
you have to be able to simplify issues, because look, when you come into a class on personal finance, you're not coming to become an accountant.
Yes.
You need to understand the principles, how it applies to you, and what it is that you are getting out of this space.
Yes.
So that you can go and be empowered to do something for yourself.
Yes.
So if you can get those skills, so that's what we have. We have an amazing team of trainers who are experts in their fields, guys who are they're stockbrokers. We've got guys who are retirement experts. We've got lawyers who help you with estate planning, even as we're talking about retirement here.
Yes.
So what it is they bring their expertise, but they're not, maybe some of them are not the best in communication and getting the message across.
Yes.
So that's what our core strength at Centonomy is getting the message across so that people can be able to grow.
I understand.
I've never told that story before.
Well, thank
First
you for
time hand
sharing.
on
Yes.
the adults in the room. Yay!
So now my question to you, as we sort of pivot back into
Sure,
the
sure.
conversation of thriving in retirement,
Yeah.
as a starting point, it's a two-part question. Firstly, how do we actually define wealth? Because I think that's really the starting point when you think about retirement. How do we define it? And what would you say is that formula on a very basic level to actually build wealth, both in preparation for retirement, but also just in general?
Okay. So you've asked one of my favorite questions, so I'm going to answer it. I hope you don't mind, even with actions. Anyway,
no problem.
So wealth is the ability to live the lifestyle that you want without having to work.
Right. Wealth is the ability to build,
to live the lifestyle that you want,
yes, without having to work.
I want that wealth.
So first of now we have to break it down because it's not that simple.
Okay.
So the first part is, what do you want? So when you ask people that question, you'll be surprised. So Karigo, what do you want?
Me, I want just to be rich forever.
You see? So at this moment, everyone is listening to you. You're a radio star. They think you're rich. So what does rich mean to you?
Living a life whereby when I need money, I have it. I don't have
How
to
much?
worry. A lot.
How much
the
is a
amount?
lot?
Okay, the amount that I need.
How
say,
much?
For example, if I need 100,000, it's easily accessible.
But why do you need 100,000?
Say, for example, I want to make an investment.
Why not 200,000?
Say, for example, I want to travel.
Why not 2 million?
Say, for example, I want to buy a house.
Why not a billion?
Yo, I
like you
not
putting
the
on the spot.
But
I'm not the expert.
But here's the point, and that's the point of the discussion that we're having right now, is that most people think, I want to be rich, but they've never defined it.
Right.
They've never defined what they want. So you're aiming at nothing.
It's true.
That's the point.
It's very true.
So, and it's so funny. So if I was to ask you, like, where would you like to live? A simple question.
First and foremost, out of Kenya.
Okay, where?
I would want to live in a country that I don't need to pay my taxes.
Which one? There are many.
Like
Mauritius.
Is islands.
Well, yes, where?
Like an island of some
Good.
sort.
So now you're beginning to narrow it down. Which one? Pick one of them. Say how you want to live in that kind of place. Say the kind of house that you want to live in, the kind of car that you want to have, the kind of travel that you want to have, and then we can transfer that into a cost, because all of them have a cost.
Yes.
That house that you have described, I am doubting that it will be anything less. It's probably between $1 million and $2 million, 100 million shillings to 200 million shillings. That's probably what you're thinking about. You see, that's now something you can work towards. But being rich, you can't work towards it.
It's just blanket.
I can't show you the cost of getting there. Because if you say that that's what you want, then I can tell you, if you are earning 10,000 shillings a month in your job, you simply cannot save enough to get there. You can't. So the strategy of getting from where you are to where you want to be is dependent on what you want.
It's just that simple.
So that's the thing. So if that's the lifestyle that you want, the likelihood is let me just bust a few bubbles over here. The likelihood is you can't do that off a salary. So you have to be building probably businesses that are going to get you to that point. So I have to be honest with you and say that. But if you want to retire comfortably somewhere here in Kiambu, maybe along Mombasa Road down this way, in a small, in a simple, nice place that is not too bad, then the likelihood is you can do that from the job that you have. But you have to be focused and you have to invest in order to get to that point. Do you get what I'm getting at? So it has to start with, what do you want? Because if you're not driving towards anything, you're aiming at nothing. I always make fun of this because our high school English teacher used to say this: if you aim at nothing, you're going to hit it every single time. You know, that's a thing.
That's brilliant. If you aim at nothing, you're going to hit it every single time.
So I mean, look, aim at something.
Yes.
So that even if you're aiming at that $1 million lifestyle as you described, let's say you miss it by half. That's not a bad lifestyle.
Yes.
It's not, because at least I would have reached half.
That's what I'm saying. But you are aiming at something.
Yes.
But right now most people are saving. They don't know what they're saving for.
They're
investing. They don't know what they're investing for. So the question is not what to invest in. It is, what are you investing for?
I like that.
love it.
Arnold,
Yes.
what are you investing for?
Hey,
It's not just saying, I want to be rich like the shy mistress. You must know what you want.
What you're shooting for.
That one I'll never forget.
Yes.
Ile tu roho safi. If you're joining the conversation, we are with Waithaka Gatumia, the CEO of Centonomy Limited. Today's conversation is how to thrive in retirement. We'll be opening the calls in a few, but right before we open the calls, I want to go on a small break. Remember, the SMS number is 40127, and we'll be right back shortly. Some gold. This is gold.
Yes.
Gold,
Quality.
Gold. Completely.
And you're even getting it for free right here. You
And
know?
the adults in the room, Waithaka Gatumia, the CEO of Centonomy Limited. Hey, my tongue.
Just say Centonomy. It's okay. Guys will understand. It's all right. We are limited for sure.
You know, I'm a Manyeri woman. Please forgive me kindly.
Don't worry. I'm a Nyeri man. I understand.
Hey! It's good to have people in the house.
Yes.
Today we are well represented.
Yes.
Usually I'm overpowered, but today, hey.
You're represented, yes.
Please send us a text on 40127 and ask all your questions on @SpiceFMKE on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. The hashtag is AdultsKE. Arnold, what are you seeing?
Yes, I want to read Tina's comment. She says, can young people, excuse me, can young people have this kind of straight talk? There is too much microwave motivational speeches misleading the youth out here. Can you please bring the whole Centonomy team to Spice FM? We need to unlearn a lot.
I'm trying, Tina. I'm trying to bring us. It's COVID that has stopped. We would have had the whole team.
The whole team right here,
Yes.
yes. So as we continue this conversation, I guess my first question as we sort of lean back into the conversation of retirement is, from your experience, how prepared are most people to actually enter this phase?
So now you know what you want. How prepared should you be?
No, that's the point. Most people get to their retirement and don't know what they want, and they don't know what they want financially. They don't know what they want as far as their life purpose is concerned, and it's
Yes.
important to have both of them.
Yes.
So the thing is, one of the big misconceptions, especially for employees, is that I have a pension. Yeah, that'll take care of me.
Yes.
Now, I want you to do some maths. In your whole career, you've been saving about 7 to 15% of your income
Yes.
on a monthly basis.
Yes.
Now, please understand, no matter which magic is being done with your investments, 7 to 15% does not eventually become 100% of your needs.
Yes.
It will not.
Wow.
So we're doing some work with the Retirement Benefits Authority, and you guys can bring them in as well at some point. But they were talking about the fact that most people who have a pension, the pension will cater for maybe 30% of your needs when you retire.
You mentioned
So you
that,
have
yeah.
70% left. You need to think, where is that 70% of the cash coming from?
Yes.
So that's what you're going to work towards. So a good measure of your needs when it comes to retirement is your current income.
Right.
So think about it like this. How can I replace how much I'm earning right now? Think about that. What would I need to do to replace that? So think if it was real estate, how many apartments or houses would I need to rent to get the amount of cash I'm earning right now? Because that's a cash flow that would be coming to you.
Yes.
As you get more and more familiar and learn more about investment instruments that are out there, now you begin to realize. So rental properties will give you maybe 5% return a year.
Yes.
So you see, again, that's another misconception. People think I'm going to rent, but they don't realize how much do you need to rent, and not only how much do you need to rent, but how in terms of occupancy, that those places have to have people in them.
Maybe
Yes.
that's something
It's
that
a big
is always
deal.
overlooked,
Yes.
because you find yourself building houses and then they are empty.
Right.
There are no occupants. And it's like that's an investment that's supposed to be bringing you benefits.
Yes.
So again, just like we were taught earlier on, don't put all your eggs in one basket. So the
Yes.
thing is to have some rental properties, but also have other investments that are income earning. So for people who don't understand the power of some of the investments that we have, can I give you an example?
Please do.
Yeah.
Many people are in SACCOs, but they look at a SACCO as a place to borrow, not as a place for investment.
Yeah.
So I'll give you an example. We were dealing with Sharia SACCO. We train many SACCOs.
Yes.
We're training at Sharia SACCO, and we were so amazed because one of the senior judges is a member there.
Wow.
And she has over this is now many years ago. Now how many years? It's almost 4 years ago. I think 5 years ago I was training there.
Right.
She had over 30 million shillings saved in her SACCO.
Wow.
Which means when they announce a dividend of 10% that year, that's 3 million in her pocket as cash flow.
Yes. Yes.
That's good money.
So real estate is not the only investment.
Yeah.
Now you can imagine, now if you understand other income earning assets like treasury bills and bonds,
Yes.
that's another place where now you can be earning. So you remember real estate is giving you 5%, your bills and bonds are going to give you about 12% income. They're called fixed income securities.
Yes.
Why is that? Because they pay out the interest as cash.
Yes.
Now, let me talk very quickly because I can see all the young people trying to see how I can go and get a bond. No.
But then that's where they are
Listen.
running now. They're like,
No.
Yes.
For young people, please understand a bond is not a compounding investment.
Yeah.
So the interest that you're going to earn, it sounds like a lot. That's good when you're retired.
Yes.
Because now you have lump sums. You
Yeah.
can take that 30 milli that is in your account, or you sell that house that you had when you're there, and now you put it into a bond, and
Yeah.
the cash flow is now what sustains you at that point.
Yes, that regular income.
That's what you're looking for. So I mean, it's understanding. They're not complex. You see, when I'm
Yes.
talking to you, you guys are saying yes, like you have understood it.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
something difficult to understand.
Yes.
It's I didn't know.
Yeah.
Like many people don't know you can walk into Central Bank and open an account there. You don't know.
Yeah, even I
can.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
You see, you're surprising all of
that
us.
is the government.
It is your government. Which government
You
of
can't
which people?
even be close.
No, it's a government of whose people?
Yes.
It's the Kenyans. Go
Yes.
there. Any of your branches, walk in and open
Even
an
Mombi
account.
did not know
Hi,
that.
Mombi. Were you not listening the last time I was here? Now, go and you see, information is what's going to save people now.
Yes.
And listen, this is the thing. You can't learn. I'm here for an hour and a half.
Yes.
When you come to our class, you're talking about over 30 hours of material with various experts. Pick up a book. Go read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Read The
Brilliant.
Richest Man in Babylon.
Brilliant.
Read all these books.
Yes.
Our founder, Washeke Ndwati, has written a book, Making Sense. Pick up a book. Go to a class. Understand this. They're not complex.
Yes.
And then even when you're dealing with investment experts, ask them. This is one of the things I have not understood about Africans. We just we don't ask.
Yeah.
In fact, I wanted to ask you, why do
Please.
people don't ask?
Because we have been.
What
we've-
is it a fear? Is it a
We've been
misconception?
trained that way. Think about our education system. Were we ever taught to ask?
No.
Well,
You were
especially in
told-
class, huh?
Kwanza, hey.
You were told you write
form.
notes and you regurgitate and you go. What question are you
844 is
asking
like
me?
that,
Yeah.
At your question like why?
Yeah.
What do you mean why?
Yeah.
Please explain.
So we've
Yeah.
not gotten the culture of sitting. Like if you have a stockbroker, they've been buying shares for you. Ask them why that one. Or tell them, this is what I want. I want to be living the Maldives lifestyle
Yes.
in the next 20 years from now.
Yes.
What investments do I need to do in order to get there?
Yes.
Show me the path.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, the problem is we don't ask. So we're busy being told things. So the person who you listen to is the one who comes and tells you the best story.
Yeah.
You don't have the idea in your mind. So the story is what you go with. That's why guys get conned into pyramid schemes. That's why you get conned into various investments, because that person is the one who told you, come and sit here
Yes.
and I will do it for you.
Yes.
You didn't want to think of it yourself.
Is Forex a form of investment?
It is.
Yeah, yeah.
It is, eh?
Yes.
And it's safe.
Well,
So
Wacha tu
now you have
niulize.
touched a nerve. That one you have touched
Wacha
a
niulize.
nerve for me.
Wacha nikwambie, my sister lost a lot of money in Forex.
So-
a lot. Like over 10, 12 years ago when it had just...
started,
Yeah.
huh?
And that guy went with her 1 million.
That's right. So if you ask,
is it safe?
If you ask any businessman around the world, anyone who has found great success, they will
Yeah.
tell you they have also lost a lot of money.
Yeah, very
There is
true.
no investment without risk. So please let us disabuse ourselves of this notion.
Yes.
Can I deal with that issue just for a second,
Yes,
please?
Please.
Listen. When investing,
Yes.
what you're looking for is the best investment that matches your goal. Okay? Now, that is the best investment. Let me give you an example. If I'm saving for my children's education next term, the best place to put that money, the best investment, is a savings account.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you're asking me for the
Yeah.
best investment for next month or next year,
Yeah.
savings account.
Yeah.
Or anything where security is key.
Is key, yeah.
Don't go and put in...
But if I am saving for my children's education 10, 13, and 15 years beyond now,
Yeah.
Yes.
the worst place to put my cash
This
is a
definitely
savings account.
Yes, yes.
Why?
yes.
Because I'm losing value there. Over that period of time, because of inflation, I'm not growing fast enough. So I need to look for an investment that will grow over time.
Yes.
Now, if I'm looking for an investment that is growing, then I have to take on board more risk.
Yes, yes.
That's the key. So when you're asking me, is it safe? Let me tell you, there's no investment that is 100% safe.
For sure.
And that should not be your question.
Yeah.
So the question is, which is the investment that will match my goal?
I see.
Then when you invest in it,
Not your need, your goal.
the goal that you have.
Yes.
So now, here's the thing. In life, so I have to balance it because I can see people are going to go crazy on Twitter. Watch this. You need to have two goals, especially on your growth plan. So number one is saving so that you have cash for an emergency.
Yes.
Now, you don't need all the cash for an emergency.
Yeah.
So we talk about that. We talk about having 6 to 12 months of your monthly income in a savings account.
Yes.
Because if COVID happens, at least for 6 months,
12
You're
months,
secure.
you're
you
okay.
can continue as you find something else to do.
Your life goes on. It doesn't stop.
Okay. But as you're saving, please, we have to learn to multitask. You also have to be growing.
Yes.
Now, here's the mistake that we make. We either do one or the other, and we forget you have to do both.
Yes.
So you have to both save and invest at the same time.
Save and invest.
So saving, have a goal. How much are you actually saving towards?
Yes.
Because people just save. We don't know how much we're saving. So you find so many chamas where people have been saving for years. They don't know what it's for.
They just have money there.
Yes. So save towards a goal. Once you've achieved that goal in your savings, move on to the investment growth.
Yes.
I like that. Save with a goal. Don't just save Vivi. Arnold, are you listening?
I'm listening. I'm even taking notes. I'm even taking notes. This is
And
valuable.
you save and invest both at the same time.
Yes.
They are concurrent. We have Waithaka Gatumia from Centonomy, the CEO. Guys, don't touch that dial. There's something Arnold wants to share with us. I can't wait.
Now, as you know, right here on Spice FM, we have been talking to you about something very, very exciting. You know, the thing is, we want to be able to have a balance between life and love and family and all of the things that bring us joy in life. And the only way to do that, as we're even being told today, is to learn and be taught and to ask these questions. So, I have a question for you. Do you not want to grow? Because I do. And the best way for you to grow in matters of life and love and to continue winning in these areas is to stay tuned right here with us, the adults in the room. And we've got something very exciting for you. You can now get short clips, highlight clips, exclusive clips of our show sent directly to your phone. You want clips of today's interview? You can have them sent directly to your phone. You want clips of my pickup lines? You can have them sent directly to your phone. It is very simple. All you have to do is text the word adults to 22840 and we will handle it. We got you. We will take care of the rest. We will make sure you get those messages sent directly to your phone so you can stay engaged and most importantly, you can stay winning in matters of life and love. Send the word adults to 22840 and we got you.
Just saying that many people save. Then they think, I have some money somewhere. Then you get into an emergency, you finish all the money. Then you start doing harambes. Oh, tuma pesa. Oh, I get it. It makes sense. So if you're just joining the conversation, this is the adults in the room. With us is Waithaka Gatumia, the CEO of Centonomy. Please send all your questions. Please send all your questions.
No, we can't finish them now. They send all of them now.
If we bahatisha and find yours, at least you send. Don't
Yes.
hold back.
Yes.
Ama, don't hold back. That's why we are here. And you can send all your questions on @SpiceFM KE on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Yes.
And guys, our lines are now open. 0719 012 600.
Yes.
Call us. We are going to pick up. In fact, let me just open the lines now. Now they're open. You can call us, ask us your questions. He's here. We have an expert, a CEO who we are honored to be in the presence of. And I like where the conversation is going. I like the way he's explaining to us that for you to retire and have and live in a successful retirement with purpose, with good cash flow,
Yes.
you must save and invest. Now, why is it so difficult to purchase insurance after retirement?
Because you're a risk. So you see, insurance, please understand, insurance is not, they are not your friendly uncle. They are business.
Yes.
And their business is to make money. How do they make money? By you not losing the property that you have,
Right.
by you not getting sick, by you not dying. So that's their business model. So they want to take as little risk as possible. And you see, the older you get, the closer you are to leaving this world.
Yes.
So you're high risk.
Yeah.
I
That's why.
see. So that would also apply to even things like post-retirement medical covers as well.
Yeah, that's it. It's your high risk. So quick something on that, please. If you are in Kenya, at minimum have NHIF.
Yes.
Please. And if you want to support your parents and other people who are in your family, you're supporting them,
Yes.
rather than waiting for that harambe that's going to be called for medical and whatever, get them on NHIF. You will be surprised how much can be covered by NHIF, and the cost is relatively low.
Yeah.
So I really encourage everybody at a minimum. If you can get other kind of covers,
Yes.
you'll be surprised. Even right now, my folks have covers, right? But many times they don't even touch it if they go for any kind of checkup at the hospital, because NHIF covers most of the stuff that they're doing.
And I can assume that's one of the ways you can support your parents
Yes.
during retirement.
Yes.
Not only giving the money.
No.
Yeah.
That's one very important
Very
way.
important.
So now, one thing that I want to know is, in your experience, who adopts more to retirement, men or women?
I don't know. I honestly can't speak from any kind of data at the moment. Generally, globally, you'll find that women do live longer than men. I don't know why.
Because we are better planners.
Oh my
We
God.
see ahead.
But to be honest,
we are focused.
and
We save and invest.
yeah. So and from what we've seen, women tend to have a lot more in terms of relational investment that they've made. So
Right.
they've got more
Yes.
community to support them at that time.
Yes.
But I can't think of any other reason. And I'm not an expert in that field, so I can't say. But those are the kind of things that I think. However, look, let's not think about it from a gender perspective, from an income perspective.
Yeah.
It's about a purpose perspective.
I
Where
agree.
you are
I
right now,
agree.
Yeah.
what do you want?
Yeah.
And if you can start working towards that goal, focus on it and begin to see what is it that's going to take me from where I am to where I want to be, then you begin to be purposeful with your moves and the actions that you're taking. Now, many people think about, but I'm now living in the future, but what about today? I want to enjoy myself today.
Right.
There's a balance in life. And the problem is, because we don't balance those things out, then we get to a point where I didn't enjoy, or I didn't save. But you can do both if you're actually purposeful about it.
Yeah.
There's one thing I really learned from our founder, Washeke. She works hard, but let me tell you, that lady also plays hard.
Right.
I was extremely challenged because when she hit 40, should I say that on anyway? When she did, people will know. It's not hidden stuff.
Yes.
She this is a lady who has been talking to people about personal finance for so many years.
Yes.
She traveled to the US, to Vegas, to enjoy.
Wow.
You know, because it was a plan.
It was a
Like, it was
plan.
something that she said, this is important. So I hang around such people because, let me tell you, they challenge you on the kind of decisions and things that you want to do with your
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
So when you're thinking about that retirement, even as you're thinking about it, it's a balance with all the things that we're talking about here. So have insurance.
Yes.
Because insurance will cover those medical costs as they come up. God forbid, let's be healthy. But if there are any costs that come up, be insured.
Yes.
So
and
one
be
of the
prepared.
things that people do when they get into the retirement, they forget, they stop, because the company was paying my insurance premium. So they stop.
Right.
Getting back onto that insurance premium will be much more expensive. So when you're leaving employment, don't stop.
Because
Because
you make
it's-
that transition.
Yes.
Yeah.
Over.
You continue to make the payments.
Yeah.
Because if you stop, that break and then trying to join again becomes much more difficult. If it's not unbroken, then you can continue.
Yes.
So that's for emergent. I mean, for
Yes.
things that you can't foresee.
Yes.
But you need now to seriously think, what size of assets
Yes.
will I need
Yes.
to take care of my life? Now, if I have that number, I can work towards it.
Yes.
For those who are getting into retirement,
Yes.
the first thing that you need to start thinking is my income. So let me tell you a story that will hopefully help you on this.
1 minute.
I have 1 minute.
Yes.
It can't fit.
For
But
the
let me
top
go.
of the hour.
Let me go.
Okay, we can continue once we
We'll continue.
cross. Yes.
I'll cut you, then we continue.
No problem. So
Aye.
here we go. Real quick. Retired couple in a house
Yes.
worth tens of millions of shillings,
Yes.
but they have no cash.
Yes.
So it's a hard conversation, but you come in and be able to say, here's your asset. It's 10 million. What if you move to a place that was 3 million, because now you don't have children, and you use the 7 million to invest in assets that will pay you an income?
Yes.
But you see, at that point, it's an emotional question.
Yes. I was about to say that, but this is very emotional.
My home, my house,
Yes.
where my neighbors know. Now it's a hard decision to make, but I think if you take it, it can begin to release funds that will allow you to get back to the life that you've been thinking about.
Yeah.
And it's a life you want.
And in that position, you can take a bit more risk by taking, starting a business maybe that you're thinking about, maybe not at the same level that you were before, because there's a little bit of cash. Don't use the whole amount.
Yes.
Because again, to start that business, because if it doesn't work, and you know how many businesses don't work immediately,
Yes.
then you find yourself in trouble. Did I manage in
You
your minutes?
managed.
Okay.
Now I believe you're on radio.
This is how you know the skill set is there.
I'm telling you, have multiple skills so that you follow instructions to the letter.
Yes.
I see you calling Julius. I see all your calls. I'm going to be picking them up in a few. The number to call is 0719 012 600. Remember, you can send a text to 40127 at Spice FM KE on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Remember to use the hashtag AdultsKE. Evening, this is the Adults in the Room. Today we have the CEO from Centonomy Limited, Waithaka Gatumia. Please, the lines are open. Call us. He will answer all of your questions. And remember, you can listen and watch us live on www.spicefm.ke. Arnold,
Yes.
what's happening on the SMS code?
Let's have a look. We haven't got anything on the SMS code, but I can see a few messages here
Okay.
on our Facebook. Sebit says, "Hi guys, thank you so much for this." To Mr. White, oh, okay, I see what he's saying. Okay, to Mr. Waithaka, be blessed. This information is just a gold mine. Watching from Abu Dhabi. Big shout out to you. Thank you so much. You hear shocking Tina. She says, Allah, you can go to the central bank and open an account.
I know. Even me, I was shocked.
And then she goes on to say, wow, this should be shared with everybody from as early as school going age. Thank you so much, Spice FM. Thank you so much for tuning in. And this is what we want. We want to be able to have engaging, honest, and adult conversations around things that really affect our day-to-day lives.
Yes, please remember to call us. The number is 0719012600. I promise the lines are open now. I'll pick up all your calls. I couldn't pick up before the top of the hour because we needed to go into a small break. But Arnold, continue.
Yes. So I want to go back to something that you said earlier about the biggest hurdle that you found going into retirement is going from the money that you make or you made to now going into the money that maybe you're getting from your pension.
Yep.
So what is the I guess the best way to kind of fill sustainably that gap? I know you've spoken a little bit about investment, but can you kind of touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, so you want to be growing as much as you can before you get into that space. So the goal, remember I talked about goals, is growth.
Yes.
So look for investments that are going to grow over that
you.
period of time. So you're not thinking about, as I said, as you grow older, obviously you'll take a bit less risk, but the idea is growth.
Yes.
So what does that mean? Don't think about it as I need to get 1 million shillings today. People don't understand the power of small amounts daily.
Yes.
So just do a quick calculation. This is the power of knowing how much you spend. So I tell this story every time I go because it really changed my perspective. We tracked our expenses as a household 9 years ago. I took, by the way, the Centonomy class before I joined it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, and one of the things you must do is track your spending.
Yes.
Most people don't know where their money is going. And we were shocked. My wife and I sitting there looking at our spending on takeout food, which was more than our rent.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that happens a lot. People spend a lot on takeout.
That's what I'm saying. More than rent.
That's how these companies are so rich. You see.
So it's small amounts, and we couldn't see it because it's
a
you
little
in the office.
things.
It's 250. But what you don't realize, 250. That's 5 sock. Monday to Friday, that's 2,500. On the weekend, now you spend more. So that in a week, we are finding 8,500 bob on takeout food.
Wow.
That's 34,000 shillings a month.
It's a lot of money.
So we're like, okay, it's important to go out, but is it important to go out that much? No. I mean, and even the food that you're eating at the office, you left food in the house.
Yes.
So now watch this. If I took that same amount on a daily basis, put it in my circle where I'm earning 10% for over a 10-year period, that 250 bob every day, as you would on that food, is 1 million shillings.
Wow.
In 10 years.
Wow.
Compounding.
Yeah.
that's the thing that people don't understand. That
Yes.
compound return
Yes.
is so powerful over time.
Yes.
So if you're in your 20s, start now. Just the small amount that you have. Stop looking for those big amounts. The consistency is where the work actually happens.
Yes.
That's what we're talking about when you're looking towards that plan. Now, definitely, if you're looking that for that lifestyle that we were saying before the Maldives, then you have a
Yes.
different plan. Yours is to grow a business that's going to get to that point. But at least to secure your future,
Yes.
those small amounts add up.
Yes.
And what do I mean? Look. If you don't know how to get into the stock market, go and buy a unit trust that's investing in the stock market, like an
Yes.
equity fund.
Yes.
And because in an equity fund, you can be putting in even small amounts, like 1,000 bob every. You don't have to come with 10,000 shillings or
Yes.
whatever it is.
Yes.
And so you're going to grow. The power of those small amounts, but not just saving, also investing. That's the key. You have to begin to grow in order for you to get the return back from it. That's kind of what we've been discussing.
Yes.
So if you've built your first apartment or somewhere where you're renting, and hey, please. Another thing is, we want to rent the house we want to live in.
Right.
No. Look where there's demand. Currently in this country, we still have huge demand on the low end of the market and on the extreme top end.
Yes.
So if you're talking about those $1 million houses plus,
Yes.
there's a bit of space you can find there. Now, if you don't have that cash, don't worry.
Yeah.
Build houses for 250K. You will get a tenant. You won't miss a tenant. You
Yes.
get what I'm talking
Yes.
about?
And that generates the,
And
the
that-
passive income.
And it continues to build and build. But the thing is, I want to build, I want to buy that house for 10 milli
Yes.
to rent because that's a house I want to live in. No.
Get you.
So start with what you have and then you can grow into it.
I get you.
Would you advise anybody to use their retirement benefits to obtain credit? Maybe they're in a thick place.
It's the look on the face.
Someone somewhere is in. Maybe they're like yo.
Yes.
You see-
Things are thick.
You see, in life, there's no hard and fast rule. I would strongly advise against it. However, there are people who have gotten into the retirement, taken debt, and found success in the. It is less likely. But here's the thing: if you take, what you're doing is you're using your retirement benefit as a security.
Yes.
So if that thing that you invest in or put money into does not work for whatever reason, that money is now lost.
It's gone. Yeah.
And now even the 30% cash flow that you were hoping to get is now also gone.
Yeah.
So I would strongly advise against it, but I also know that there are some people who have made it in certain situations.
Yes.
So this
So
is the
it's
thing.
possible.
It is, but
it's high risk,
I'm
huh?
telling you, I don't know if it is worth the risk.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you
yes.
get what I'm
Don't know
saying?
if it's worth the
I
risk.
don't know. And you see, I cannot give a flat rule and say, what if it's the best investment that has ever come across?
Right,
That you've
yes.
ever come across and you've known it, it's just the opportunity has just hit.
Yes.
And I cannot say no 100%, but I
Yeah.
can say it's a massive risk which you really need to think through before you take it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now on this conversation of debt, I know there's many people who might be approaching retirement and maybe they still have some debt that they're holding on to or that they're tied to. So I guess in preparation for retirement,
Yep.
what is the best way to look at and manage debt? Some people might be like, you know what, I want to retire and knowing that all of my debt is cleared so I can just focus on enjoying life. How do we now navigate that
Yeah.
situation?
Waithaka, one sec, I pick Julius' call
No worries.
as we hold to that question. Hi, Julius.
Hi, Arnold.
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Julius.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? Hey.
I'm very okay. I'm very fine.
Please
That's
say
good to hear.
Yeah, please say hi to Arnold and our guest, and then you move forward.
Yes, Arnold. How
Yes,
are you?
sir.
Hey, and Waithaka.
Hi.
Hi. Today you are in finance apologetics.
Yes.
Yes.
100%.
Oh,
Oh, he's
the
disappeared.
call has
Please,
disappeared.
please call back, Julius. Would love to hear your question.
One sec. Hi, Medusa.
Yes,
Hey, how are you? How's your day?
I was fine.
Please say hi to Arnold, say hi to our guest, and then you proceed.
Okay. My question is just to ask
Okay.
those who are taking early retirement.
Mm-hmm.
how do they know that they are ready for the early retirement?
How do you know that you're ready for early retirement?
Yes.
I see.
My second question.
Yes.
Okay, so some people are working in town, so after retirement, they want to go back to rural areas.
Mm-hmm.
What can they do in the rural areas to keep them going?
Yeah.
So what can they do to
Yeah.
keep them busy and keep them active?
Yes.
I see. Okay, we will definitely pose those questions to our gentleman,
Okay.
and we'll get them answered for you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Medusa.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on that?
Yes.
How
so
can
two
one
questions? Yeah.
How can one prepare for early?
How do you
Sorry,
know?
how do you know that you're ready for early retirement?
Yeah.
Or retirement in general?
Yep.
And if you reach retirement and you want to now go to your shags, how can you keep busy? Because
Yeah.
retirement, if you let it, it can slow you down.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think that's a very important question. Like, how do retirees? How should they spend most of their time? Honestly, that's an honest question.
It is, and it's great that the question is being asked, because we the baby of the programs that we run at Centonomy is actually a program called Centonomy Gold, which is for retirees and preparation for retirement, essentially.
Yes.
And so as we were doing our research, going and speaking to retirees and people who are preparing for retirement, we realized that it's not just a money question. It's,
Yes.
as I said before, it's a,
a
what am I
purpose.
going to do?
Purpose.
Where am I going to go? You find, and what you were saying before, like if you've been every day waking up at 8,
Yes.
and you're at the office by 8.
Yes.
What happens the day now you stop?
Yes.
It's like
Day one.
Day one.
Yes.
So people just still wake up and they don't know where they're going that day,
Yes.
and you end up on the golf course if you're lucky and don't have anything else to do.
Yes.
Or you're simply bothering people around, or sitting in the house and not doing much.
Yes.
Yeah.
So a good preparation plan, and that's part of what we talk about in the class, not just the money. It's
Yes.
also thinking about, what will I do? So what are the things now that you're passionate about? What are the things that have mattered to you?
Yeah.
It again links to your purpose. I'll give a great example. My mom loves music, and so that's where I got my musical ear from. Can you imagine? Now it was, look, if I'm 40 now, my mom is definitely not 60. you get what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
you
in
can
her
do the math.
in her retirement space,
Yes.
my mom picked up the piano.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just said, I've been singing in the church choir for so long, but I would like to learn to play. So she
Yes.
got into lessons and now is
She
doing that.
plays.
So that's
That's
something that
amazing.
works for you, because
Yes.
it's something that's along with your passion and what you're going on. She's
Yeah.
still in the NGO world, and so she's still doing fundraising to help people. You see, again,
Yes.
it's linked to your purpose,
Yeah.
Yes.
and it's the things that you're good at and you're
aligned.
there. So for whoever is preparing for that retirement space, begin to get involved in the things that matter to you, that are beyond your job. So find something that is aligned to you. Get into a sport that you enjoy.
Yeah.
Get into an activity that you enjoy. Get into community activities that you think, I've always been wanting to get this school to another level.
Yes.
Get involved. Get into the
Yeah.
board.
Yes.
Support. You'll be surprised how many people are looking for your expertise.
Yes.
And guess what? You have now over 60 years of experience.
Yes.
Can you imagine if you input that experience into your relative's business that they
Yeah.
didn't know how to run?
Yeah.
Go and help and do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you asked about now, how do I know I'm prepared?
Yes.
If you have a plan.
It all comes back to
how
a
do you
plan.
know you're ready? or
Because
prepared for
how do you
early
know
retirement?
is if you
Yeah.
have a plan. Because if it's early, it means then you still have work to do.
Yes.
So you're beginning to prepare for that work that's coming up. So you have a plan for that work.
A bit. What's
Yes.
the earliest someone can retire? What's the earliest anyone has ever retired from your experience? Aki, tuambie tu.
Retirement is now you're not working to eat. So
Right.
you can retire at whatever age. So long as
If
you
I've
have
got
the
the money now, I can even choose to retire.
That YouTube kid who's making $22 million a year.
Yes. Yes.
He really doesn't have to work
Yes.
now. He's as a preteen. He
Yes.
doesn't.
Yeah.
But you choose to work, because work is not a bad thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Work is part of your purpose, and especially if you link your work to things that matter to you,
Yeah.
then you're not working.
Yes.
Like it's no, you are working. It's not a drudge. That's
Yes.
that's what I'm trying to get at.
Yes.
So if you can start thinking about that and say, okay, I've my payout will be a certain amount. I'm not at the point I need. Maybe my payout is going to be 3 million. The assets that I need that are going to pay me to live the lifestyle that I want are 10 million. So I have a goal of 7 million. How do I
Yes.
meet that gap?
Yes.
That's how you know you're prepared, because now you're saying, okay, with what I'm getting, this is what I'm going to do, and it'll get me to my goal.
Yes.
Got you.
Yes.
But if you didn't have that goal, so you leave. You don't know whether you're going to get another job. You don't know whether you're starting a business.
Yes.
But you have daily, monthly costs.
Yes.
And that 3 million will disappear faster
Very
than
quickly.
you know.
My goodness.
Because people look at those, when they hear million, they think it's a lot. It's simply because you've never accepted it. You received it at once.
Yes. Yes.
You know,
Precisely.
people.
That's the thing.
Yeah, people always ask, does retirement always entail you to move out of the city completely?
No.
I feel like that's something that I've noticed that is very prominent here. You know, once you retire, you want to go back
Kenya,
home.
Not in Melbourne.
Yeah, in
Melbourne,
Kenya.
those things don't happen.
No, because we don't have shags in Melbourne. You know, maybe some
No, guys,
Where
generations
they-
of
but,
the.
but you say
Yeah,
where
true.
their shags is where they have those big spiders and those big snakes.
Oh,
Yes.
in the outback.
You retire and go there.
But not everybody owns property out those sides. Some do, of course.
yeah.
But I've noticed the notion of wanting to retire and then go back home, like home, your shags, is very prominent here in
It
Kenya.
is, and there's. I mean, is it a must?
No.
It's not.
No, but why do people want to go home? Because it's less stress than Nairobi.
Yeah.
It doesn't take you 3 hours to get across the city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What
Yeah.
are that?
There's a sense of community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those kind of things. But,
Yeah.
but please note, this is not happening as much as you think. A lot more people now are retiring into the cities that they're in. That is why Nairobi's population is still growing because it's not
yeah.
that people are retiring and getting out.
Yeah.
People are retiring here because they can afford to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And most probably they've jengad at home and they've jengad in Nairobi. So they're like, what's the point?
If they're lucky.
If
And you see,
they're
that's the
lucky.
thing. You see, we're speaking a very middle upper class discussion
true,
over
by the
here.
way.
For many Kenyans,
Yeah.
this is the life. The
Yes.
city life is where they are.
Yeah.
Where it
So
is.
what we have to begin to do is to say what will make that life sustainable over time. And even for those, because there are many, let me tell you, who are not moving up country.
Yes.
And they are staying here, even in their middle class, upper class homes. And they're wondering, how do I sustain this?
Yes.
Because imagine the more you have, the more you need to sustain it.
Very
And
true.
that's really tough.
Yes.
How to thrive in retirement with Waithaka Gatumia, CEO of Centonomy. The number to call is 0719 0626 0719 012 600. We are now picking up your calls for real, for real. Sorry, guys, we can't interrupt. You know, we are learning, we are growing.
Yes.
We will be right back. How to thrive in retirement.
Yes.
You just don't dream.
Yes.
You
have to
save
put in
and you
work.
invest.
Have a plan. You see, we've been told it's about purpose.
Yes.
Yes.
You must know what you want.
Yes.
Not just dreaming over here. If you're just joining the conversation, we are with Waithaka Gatumia, the CEO from Centonomy, at Spice FM KE on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. The number to call is 0719 012 600. Hi, Ndongo.
Hello,
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Please say hello to Arnold and our guest and proceed.
Hello, hi. And
Mambo,
our
how are you?
very interesting one, yeah.
Happy Thursday. It's good to hear from you. Kindly say hello to Mr. Waithaka.
Mr. Waithaka, hi, how are you doing?
Sama.
Niko mzima sana. Today's topic is a very interesting one, and I really appreciate Karigo and Arnold for having me today. My question is very simple, and I want to ask the same question the last caller asked. Yeah.
Yes.
Retirement has become one of the things. You know, the youth, like most of us, don't want to work till you're 50 for us to find something else to do. Yeah. Like for me, I always wanted to be a rat. I wanted to retire before 30, but I had not made enough savings for me to leave employment before I'm 30.
Yes.
And what's your take if I feel that I feel now that I've grown and in the next 2 years I want to venture into business? I've started a business, of course, behind the scenes because I'm in the service industry where I fill up the product, how I package my product.
Right.
What if I want to have my retirement early and pump the retirement benefits to my business? What's your take on that?
Right. So you're saying that you want to be able to retire early and then pump the resources or the money that you have into your business, the money that comes from.
I know most of the guys, apart from the little savings we have in a circle,
Right.
the expectation is that what I have in my pension will be able to like give me a better capital that I can be able to pump in what I feel I need to do after maybe 35. I have 2 years to work. What do you feel me pumping? Well, the question is, would you recommend that I can go ahead and pump my retirement benefits when I'm 35 into a business that I feel I can do for the rest of the years rather than working for someone else?
Okay. Let's see if we can answer that question for you. Thank you so much for submitting it. We will let our guest have a quick think and then answer.
Good stuff. Thanks so much, and I appreciate you guys. You're awesome.
Thank you
Thanks,
so
Jomo.
much. Thank you.
you.
Okay, bye.
Good night. Bye-bye.
So what are your thoughts on that? He's essentially saying he is looking to retire early, take those benefits from his pension, and hopefully be able to pump into a business.
Let's take another one, and then we answer 2 in 1.
Okay.
Right? Okay. Hi, David.
Hello, how are you guys?
Hi.
thank you. How are you?
Good.
I'm good. Say hi to our visitor.
Yes, he's right here.
He's right here, David.
The visitor has said hello.
I'm saying hello.
Yes.
Yes, so I wanted to ask a question.
Yes.
Yes, I was shooting a question to our visitor. I wanted to inquire if there is a way that maybe they can help us I was thinking in terms of shaping your goals. Right? You might be having abundance of goals that you want to achieve.
Yes.
Some are practical, some are dreams, as the song was talking about, yes. So I was asking if there's kind of a training or a platform where maybe you can come with all the dreams that you have, and then they help you on shaping what is workable.
Say that again.
You got my question. I'm talking about a situation where you have your dreams,
Yes.
or you have your goals.
Yes.
But again, you see, some goals might end up being dreams because you can't actually achieve it depending with what you're having.
Yes.
So I was asking if they have a platform,
Yes.
or there is a training, or there is a school where they can help you on shaping your goals.
Your goals.
Maybe they give you direction on what can be workable with you, depending with what you have in your hand, and something like that.
Okay, no problem. We can definitely get into that question as well.
Thank you.
No
All
problem.
right.
Thank you.
Thanks, David.
So our first question was retiring early, using that money to now fund a business that can hopefully grow,
Yes.
so that you don't have to continue working the rat race, the grind.
Yes.
Did I get that he's already done it? So he's already retired early, I think.
No,
So let's
he's saying
I think he was contemplating it. So he's
Okay.
saying
he wanted to retire at 30.
Okay.
But it's now clearly it has not
This
happened.
has not happened.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's approach it from both perspectives. In both cases, invest in learning about your business and how to run it.
Okay.
Because you've been used to it, and I am the first to put up my hand. I've been used to being an employee. I know how to be told what to do
Yes.
and how to do it,
Okay.
and I'm excellent at
Yes.
doing that. So when I started my business, I wasn't that good. There was nobody to tell me what to give me direction. So as an entrepreneur, you need to give yourself clear direction, both with the passion that you have for the business, but also the financial side of it.
Yes.
And let me tell you, the finances of running a business are not the same as what you think. It's not what you saw as a side hustle. As a side hustle, you have a constant flow of capital called your salary.
Yes.
When you remove that salary, that capital is cut off. So if you have not built a sustainable business by that point, you will be very shocked where money goes in your business.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in both cases, invest in learning about business.
Yes.
Spend time. Again, the reason I took this job at Centonomy, I wanted to be around somebody who's done that. And I was so shocked. Kwasheke, in her life, has invested so much in learning.
Yeah.
Like she has taken almost all business courses that are available in Nairobi.
Wow.
As in, that's the kind of person that you're, because in as much as she knows, an entrepreneur, those who have found success are humble enough to keep learning.
Yes. Precisely.
That's a powerful tool. So start with by learning. If you have some of that money before you use it, go into a class and learn.
Yes.
There are many available. I highly recommend the one that we offer at Centonomy
Yes,
called the
well, of
Centonomy
course.
Entrepreneur.
In fact,
I
yes.
highly recommend.
That was the second question.
Yes. So I'm going to that. So if you have already done it, you still have money available. Park that money. Put it somewhere you can't find.
Yes.
Because it's so easy to 10,000 here, 100,000 here, before you know it,
It's
the
gone.
millions that you thought you were going to use have gone.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's a great time. If you've taken that, park it. What do I mean by park it? Put it like into your circle where you can't access it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Put it into a government bond where even getting the money is difficult.
Yes.
As you think and prepare for that.
Yes.
Responding to the second question, now I'm happy.
Yes.
we have multiple programs to help you on your financial journey.
Yes.
And as I said, one of the core questions of every single program we run at Centonomy is, what do you want?
Yes.
Because when you're clear about what you want, we will unravel it and turn it from a vision into a goal, and from a goal you get action steps. What does
Yes.
that mean? Dream, I want to be rich. What we started off with today. Make it a goal. It now became $3 million worth in the next 20 years for Karigo to go and live in the Maldives. Now we know it's $3 million. Now we can say we have a 20-year journey to raise what?
$3
$3 million. What is going to get you there?
Yes.
Now we can have a discussion and begin to say saving 10K a month will not get you there.
Right.
So now what are the kind of investments and strategies that are going to get you there? That's what we do in the Centonomy classes. So we have programs on personal finance from teenagers all the way to retirees.
Yes.
So we have a teens program during the holidays. We have a Centonomy 101, which everyone must take. It's the
Yes.
basics of finance. And then Centonomy Gold, which now is for preparation for
the
retirement.
retirement.
Then we have courses on entrepreneurship.
Yes.
And let me tell you, if I had taken this program before I started my business, I probably would not be here. But thank God for his purposes, that he gets you to where you need,
to be. Yes.
So learn about business before you get into business. Have the humility to learn.
Yes.
And we also have programs now on career development, because we found that some people are wondering, why is it, Nani joined us last month. They're already getting a promotion. Me, I've been here for 20 years. But doesn't my work speak for itself? No, it doesn't. I'm sorry. You are given a mouth to speak.
Right.
Now, no, it's not about pride. It's about purpose and adding value.
Yes.
So for those who are thinking about career development, here's the thing that worked for me. Stop chasing money. Build value. Because
that.
money follows
Follows
value.
value.
I like
Precisely.
So if you are valuable,
Yeah.
they will not want to let you go,
Yeah.
even when they're retrenching other people. Why? Because if we let this person go, the business will not work.
Yes.
If you're valuable and your organization doesn't see you, another organization will see you,
That's
be
true.
poached.
That's
But
true.
we are so busy asking for the raise. No. Build so that you deserve the raise.
Yes.
Get to the point where this company cannot function without you. Now, and I don't mean that you hold everything to yourself. I mean that the value that you bring is so attractive
Yes.
that they want to give you a better job, another place to go.
I like that.
Yes.
The
So
value you
we have
is
many
so
courses. Go to
attractive.
centonomy.com. You'll see all the programs that are available, and they're available now online, so you can learn from everywhere. You guys get guys from Australia all the way
Yes.
to the US in
Yes.
classes right now.
We are discussing how to thrive in retirement with Waithaka Gatumia, the CEO of Centonomy. Call us 0719 012 600. Send us a text to 40127. We will be right back. You want to retire?
Oh, to be honest, I want to work as long as I can. Even if I'm of retirement age, I want to have
Really,
ventures and
Arnold?
business.
Don't
Yes.
lie to us
No,
on
for
national
real.
live radio.
No, and the reason I mean that is because when I say work, I mean work for myself. Yes. So if I work for myself, I can work until God calls me home.
Me, if I could retire tomorrow, I'd be a very happy woman. I'm not going to lie. We are discussing how to thrive in retirement. This is the adults in the room. We are with Waithaka Gatumia from Centonomy. Guys, call us on 0719 012 SMS on 40127. And remember, these days we have video clips.
Yes.
All these conversations you can be sent for. You just need to send the word adults to 22840.
Yes.
Arnold.
Now, I want to divert back to a question that I asked prior to us getting calls,
Yeah.
which was, what is the best way to manage debt as you approach this space of retirement? Because as I said, there's some people who maybe currently have a few things that they're financially tied to, and they want to start preparing for retirement. So how do they manage that situation?
So the thing with debt
Debts
is
and liabilities.
so they mean the same thing. Yes, liabilities and debts are the same. With debt, and thank God for the Consumer Protection Act here, which now allows you to repay your debts earlier without penalty.
Yes.
Which means you reduce the amount of interest that you're paying.
Yes.
So here is the advice:
Yes.
pay your debts as quickly as possible.
Okay.
Any extra amount that you can put towards the debt while you're still earning, put it there. Do this. Actually figure out how much your life costs. Anything extra, put it towards that debt, because what it does, it reduces the interest over time and it finishes your debt earlier.
Yes.
So for many people who are doing like long-term debt, help clear it as quickly as possible. If you have a mortgage, clear it as possible. Any kind of debt that you have, put extra amounts towards it as while you have a cash flow.
Yes.
Now, depending on where you are when you actually get, maybe if you get a lump sum when you retire, you can use some of that to offset some of the debt. Why? Because, excuse me,
Sorry.
if we have debt, that percentage that you're paying on that debt, it is there come rain or shine. The problem with now putting it into an investment is your
Yes.
investment, there's no guarantee.
Yes. Yes.
So that's the issue with debt.
Right.
Is you have to deal with it because there's no guarantee.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like
see,
that.
I see. Okay. Now,
Sorry, Pole.
sorry, okay.
Even as we experience that here. Don't worry. Yeah.
now
know.
I do have a question for someone like myself and Karigo. Obviously, we are still young and we're still building our lives and we have a lot that we want to achieve. For someone who is, let's say, not in a position where they should now be thinking about retirement and making those plans, how important is it to actually consider retirement planning now in our youthful age?
Yes.
There's someone who should not be thinking about it. I don't know who that person is.
Right.
Start thinking about it now. Because remember what where we started off, I said what wealth is. Wealth is the ability to live the lifestyle that you want without having to work. That means that you have assets. At whatever point that is, whether you are 30, 40, 50, doesn't matter. The issue is there now. The pressure of earning to survive is left you. So you should start thinking about retirement as early as possible.
Yes.
Why? Because then you can make decisions on the choices that you're making. And the power of your shilling today is
Yeah.
so much more than your shilling tomorrow.
Yes,
if
that's
you can
true.
invest it right now. So make those choices now. When your accounts department, if you are employing a big company, calls you and says, do you want to increase your pension payments? Increase them.
Right.
You know, do make those small changes, and those small changes add up to significant amounts over time. Here's the thing. Most people find success. They look and they see success. They don't see the work that it took to get there.
Get there. Yeah.
They don't see that this person has 12 years you didn't see them. What were they doing? Building what they're doing. 20 years they were building. But what now you see is they're driving that car that you've been looking at.
Of
They've been doing,
course.
and you thought, how did this person get there? It was work.
Yeah. Years and
even
years.
and even those who you see them growing quickly, those who are in the art world, and you see somebody, you know, their song hit, find out where they were. They probably from high school
Yes.
were busy learning the guitar or learning how to play the piano or
Yes.
learning in singing lessons. So by the time they're there, it's been 10 years of work.
Yes.
They didn't just get the success in that moment.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: prepare by having a goal, having a dream. Transfer that dream into a goal by giving it a timeline and a cost.
Yeah.
That's now a goal. If it doesn't have when and how much, it's not a goal.
Yeah.
Because now I know when and how much, I can decide what I need to do now.
Yeah.
I will sing this song until people are tired. Because the problem
Yes.
is people are living purposeless lives.
Yes.
No, I agree.
I really don't. I was
I
told
agree.
to go to school. I went to school.
Yeah.
I was told to get a family. I got a family. I was told to retire. I'm retired. Now what do I do?
Yes.
Come on.
Ama you're just working to pay bills.
Get some agency in life and find something that matters to you and do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because if you don't, I mean, what's the purpose?
I
Yeah,
know.
I agree.
I know we talked about NHIF as a way to support family after they've retired. What else? How else can a family support their retired parents? Because somebody somewhere is thinking now, my parents are approaching retirement. How do I support them? How best can I support them?
If you can, send them to our retirement class. It's a great investment. Get them the
Wow.
information.
Wow.
Because when they're sitting there with their peers, in fact, that's one of the things why we started this program, is because we realized, when you're sitting in a class with a 20-year-old, you might feel a bit embarrassed to say, you know what, I am now 50 and I don't know what I'm doing, or 60 and I don't know what I'm doing.
Yes.
So the good thing about this space is that you're with your peers, and there's some learning experience there. The second thing is, now that you have heard that income or cash flow is really important, how you as a family can now begin to see where is the cash coming from to support them.
Yes.
It's a really powerful tool.
Yes.
So if you can invest somewhere that investment begins to pay your parents and take care of them, that's a powerful tool. And you see, if you're a family and you're many of you, then you can be able to do that quickly,
collectively,
as you're doing it.
Yeah, I think that's a very vital thing.
Yeah. I would suggest those are some of the things that you can begin to do. And then get them also encouraged to do things as well. Get them up and running. Ask many questions, because you'll be surprised what your parents, the years of experience that they've had, could do for your life. Use that resource for your life.
Yeah.
I get. So I guess my another question that I had is, we've talked about things that you can do to sustain yourself financially post retirement, but are there certain activities that you would encourage people not to look at if you are either in retirement or entering retirement? Are there whether it's certain investments or certain things that you say this isn't worth looking at this point in life? And the reason I ask that is because they say when you're young, you can afford to take more risks with your investments, but as you get older, maybe they're a bit more conservative in order to safeguard your future.
Yeah. So that's a good general rule of thumb, that as you grow older, take a little bit less risk, because you're trying now to conserve and to rather than grow, because that's the goal is slightly changing at that point.
Yeah, because you're older.
But here's the thing again. We can't put rules, because think about it. We eat his chicken here in Nairobi like there's no tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Colonel Sanders who started Kentucky Fried Chicken in his 60s.
Yeah.
And was a multimillionaire from doing that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he had tried so many other things before. So I will never come and say don't go for your dream or don't go after what you're aiming for. I'm just saying, think about it seriously.
Yes.
And really consider what choices you're making at that point. But just remember, that is the general rule of thumb.
Yeah.
As you're getting into that space. But you find so many people who are getting into their passion and finding great success in their old age.
Yeah.
So
and
I know I'm walking the line, but I'm not answering your question.
No, but I get it. It makes sense though, because you can't control what people's dreams are and what they pursue. So I get it.
Yeah. How to thrive in retirement. 0719 012 600. SMS on 40127 at Spice FM KE on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We will be back in a sec. Having is how to thrive in retirement. Waithaka Gatumia from Centonomy. Guys, I see your calls. I'm gonna be picking them up in just a few, but first, social media.
Yes, so we've got a very interesting question here from Nimo. She's saying, on savings and debts, what do you advise? Let's say I have debt of 100K and I have also saved 100K. Do you advise one pay up the debt and start from zero, or would you advise one make an investment and use the proceeds from the investment to pay up the debt? If one opted to invest, are there any low investments that you can advise one make? My worry is, what if I invest and my investment fails?
I told you that question has to come.
Yes.
Which is the best investment with the highest return and the lowest risk. Doesn't exist. I'm sorry to burst your bubble.
Yes.
But here's the thing. Yes, if she sounds young, Nemo, I think. If you're young, pay off the debt. Get over and done with that debt, because the thing is, you're still earning, you're still growing, and you're building from that perspective. And what you're doing is you're cutting out the interest.
Yes.
What people don't understand is the cost of interest, especially over time. So when you talk about a credit card and you talk about mortgages, why are those so hard on your life? It's because they are long-term debt. Many times you pay more in interest on your credit card or your mortgage than you will on what you actually borrowed.
Exactly
Yes.
right.
Because of the amount of time. So if you can
Yes.
clear your debt as quickly as possible, I think that's the best way to
Yes,
go.
I think that was one of the biggest lessons I learned because I made the foolish mistake when I was young of getting myself into a lot of debt very early on. And you know, when you're young, you want a nice car, especially because access to these things is easy in Australia. All it takes is to have a good job, you get a loan. So I got into a whole lot of debt, and that debt punished me for years. And I think the greatest thing that I'm proud of is actually being able to clear that debt, because there's not only that, but then there's also student loans. There's so many different things that take from your income. So if you can keep as much money in your pocket and have less going out, I think it's a great place to be sitting.
Yeah.
Yes.
More social media.
Yes. So we also have Henry, who's saying, good evening, guys. I've arrived at the show a bit late, but still have grasped some tips about saving habits and investment. Kudos, Mr. Waithaka. You are a good tutor. And this is why you need to head over to Centonomy. Check out the site.
Yes.
There's a lot more to learn there. Who else have we got here? Let's see. I can also see we have a few on Twitter. Let me just go up. What is the difference between being rich and wealthy? Steven says investments in sectors that guarantee return with manageable risks with manageable risk associated would be an ideal in retirement planning.
Yep.
What else have we got? James Omosa is saying, I am really following the topic from Doha. Big shout out to you. Thank you for tuning in. I am really loving it. I just want to start planning my retirement by age 45. By God's grace, I just want to put my money in proper investments so that I do not work until I am 50. I love it. He's got a plan. You see? This is how it starts.
Yeah.
And then Ian Kennedy says, personally, in order to thrive in retirement, I got to have a routine. Having a routine can help you focus on what's most important to you day to day and keep you focused on your accomplishments.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
good. That's some good.
So yes, you see, we're schooling people here today. This is the whole point of today's conversation.
For anybody who's listening, Waithaka, who is currently in retirement and they're struggling,
Yep.
like for real, they're struggling.
Yep.
What advice would you give them? What would you tell them for them to understand by there's hope?
Good.
What can they do?
Very quickly, we start off, and that's what we do in the Centonomy Gold program, which is about retirement.
Yes.
You start off with a lifestyle audit. Many people don't know what their life costs. So if you understand your costs, you can very quickly begin to make a difference in what you're doing. So one of the things that often shocks people is this: quickly go to your phone. We're using mobile money a lot. Go to the transaction costs of all the mobile money that you've sent
This is
in
a
this
big
1
one.
month.
Ooh, this is
Just
a
do
big
in
one.
1 month. Just do it in 1 month. Now, the problem is not that it's let me tell you, the mobile
Surely.
money industry in Kenya is
Yeah.
brilliant,
Yes.
and I am so
Yeah.
proud of it. I
Yes.
shout about it everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
But even good things we can misuse.
Yeah.
And so somebody who's thinking they're spending 200 shillings a month, they're most likely spending 2,000 on transaction costs.
You're joking.
Yeah. But it's because you don't see it. We just get used to it and we don't do it on a regular basis. Now, the thing is, I'm not saying don't use your mobile money transfer
but-
services.
yeah.
What I'm saying is let's become a bit more wise on it and begin to realize right now, many banks, you can do direct transactions from your bank
For
to
free.
somebody's
Mobile.
mobile money rather than withdrawing, charged, sending, charged. So there's power in what we're using here, but we can use it better.
Yes.
So it's an awareness thing. So if you do that for just go through your text messages and you'll be surprised. So when you do a lifestyle audit, then you begin to realize, okay, the lifestyle I actually want costs this amount. What do I need to do? Now you can
Lifestyle audit.
Yes. So now you know where your money actually goes for real. When you even talk about helping people with weddings, funerals, all those different, you'll know an actual amount.
Yes.
And then you're able to say, okay, so what do I need to sustain this? Now I'm there. Now, okay, I don't have enough to sustain it. Now you begin to think, what can I do? Hey, you have 50 years of experience. People need it somewhere. You
Yes.
can offer it. You can find some place to add value in life. As I said, we were talking about it before. KFC was started by the founder in his 60s.
Yeah.
So what is it that you cannot do, really? What is
Nothing
it that
is
you can't
impossible.
offer? If you really think it through and take action with purpose.
Yeah.
But you really need to first of all know where your money is going and then begin to have a plan on how you're going to increase that money. the reality is that for many people, you're still going to have to work.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
It keeps you young.
Yes.
Yeah.
So work with something that matters to
Yes.
you.
Yes, I love
And make that choice as early as possible.
So, Waithaka, for 2 minutes,
Yes.
plug yourself.
Yeah,
your
let us know.
businesses,
Let them
Centonomy,
know.
all those classes, those biasharas you've been doing.
Yeah.
How can people
Tell
learn
us.
more?
2 minutes. I know you understand the brief.
I
have
understand
confidence.
2 minutes.
Yes.
You see, go to Centonomy on YouTube. We've got lots of material that's available for free
Yes.
and testimonials of people who've been through the program. This is a message I just received on my phone and I just shared it with my team as I came on here. And it says, Waithaka, I hope you're well. Sorry to text late, but I'm grateful that you emphasized I joined Centonomy. I am clearing my last debt, which is my help loan this month. This is somebody who joined beginning of this year. What she didn't know is she could have been paying that help loan for the next 5 years and paid so much interest on it. She has now cleared it. I am saving my money for bills, bonds, and other investments that I'm working towards. I got off spending money like there's no tomorrow. Looking into my future, I sleep better nowadays. God bless you.
Amazing.
This is what I live for, because I realize when somebody takes control of their lives and it stops being external, serikali nisaidie, my boss nisaidie, then that's what life is about.
Yes.
We offer life transforming programs at Centonomy
Yes.
because it's not just about the money. It's about what you want and how you can begin to work towards it. As I mentioned, we do personal financial management and investment from as young as teenagers all the way from 13 to over 60s. So we have a teens boot camp which happens over the school holidays. Send your kids to learn now. We've got a campus edition which is for university students. You can imagine if you had that
Yes.
when you were in uni, you would have
Yeah.
taken debt a bit differently and
Very
worked
much so.
towards it.
Yeah.
We've got Centonomy 101, which everybody should take because it's really the fundamentals of growth. And we've got Centonomy Gold, which is about preparation for retirement, but even just that thinking about that place.
Yes.
We've got a program called the Centonomy Entrepreneur, which is about how to grow a great business. And it's not just having an idea. An idea is not a business. It's understanding the financials and how you get there. And career development, we've got the Centonomy Career Hub. Please, if you want to grow in your career, it's not just your work doesn't speak for itself.
Yeah.
You have to speak up for it, but also build your value.
Yes.
Go to centonomy.com right now or Centonomy on all social media. You'll find us and you'll find out so much more. Next weekend, quick.
Yes,
31st,
quickly.
we've got an amazing program on retirement next weekend. Check it out on Facebook. And it's preparing for the retirement that you want and lots of programs coming up.
Hey, thank
I
you
love it.
so much, Waithaka Gatumia, CEO
Yes.
of Centonomy. Thank you so much. Today we were talking about how to thrive in retirement. From Karigo, from Arnold, from Mombi. I finish off with lifestyle audit. Good night.